everybody. Today we are going to learn about what matter is, the particle theory of matter, the difference between solid, liquid, and gas, and the changes of state between them. Start with the big question, what is matter? Matter is anything that has a mass and takes up space. So if something has a weight and a volume, then it's mass. This cup has a mass. It has a weight and it has volume, meaning it is made up of matter. This water has a mass. The phone that I'm using to record this has a mass. Our bodies have a mass. This room is made up of matter. And certain things in this room have a mass. Some things are not made up of matter, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So certain things do not have a mass, such as energy. So like light and sound and electricity, those don't have a matter. Those don't forces like gravity and magnetism, and thoughts and ideas that are in your mind. Those things don't take up space and they don't have a volume or weight, and therefore they don't have a mass. Scientists like to explain matter using something called the particle theory of matter. And we use this theory to help us understand how particles behave in solids, liquids, and gases. There are 5 important statements in particle theory. 1. Particles are too small to be seen by our naked eye. 1. All matter is made up of tiny little particles that are too small to be seen by our naked eye. 2. Particles are always in constant movement. 2. Particles are in constant movement. Even in a solid thing, such as this cup, for example, the particles are still moving, they're just vibrating in place. Third, there are space between all particles, and this space can vary the amount of space can vary if it's a solid, liquid, or gas. In a gas, the particles will be spread apart. In a gas, particles will be spread far apart. In a solid, particles will be compacted close together, and in a liquid, particles will have a little bit of space between them. The 4th statement of particle theory is that all particles are attracted to each other. And the last statement of particle theory is that particles will move faster as they get heated up, and they will move slower as they cool down. Now let's take a look into the 3 main states of matter: solids, liquids, and gases. Now let's take a look at a solid material. So particles are in constant movement, but they will only vibrate in one place. Now particles are in constant movement, but the particles will only vibrate in place. Since the particles are so closely jam-packed together, solids are very hard to compress. Now a liquid is a little bit tricky because a liquid has a fixed volume and it also has weight, which is why it has a mass, but it has no fixed shape, which is why if you put a liquid into a cup, it takes the shape of the cup. Now, particles are in constant movement. And unlike the solid material, the particles are a little bit more freer, so they have a little bit more movement, which is why they can take the place or the shape of any cup, unlike the particles in a solid which have a fixed shape. Some examples of some liquids are like juice, oil, and water. You may ask, well, why does gas have a mass? Well, gas has a mass because it takes up space and it has particles, and it is made up of particles. Gas particles are spread far, far apart and can move freely anywhere they want. Because there is so much empty space between these particles, gases can be compressed easily. Matter can also change from one state to another. These changes are called changes of state. When a solid is changed into a liquid, it's called melting. And when a liquid is changed into a solid, it's called freezing. When a liquid is changed to a gas, it's called evaporation. When a gas is changed to a liquid, it's called condensation. Sublimation happens when a solid is changed directly into a gas without turning into a liquid first. Now, deposition is the exact opposite process where gas changes directly into a solid. An example of this happening is like the frost on your windows. That is when the gas turns directly into frost without melting first. Example of this is like the frost on your windows. And all of this happens because particles either gain or lose energy. So heating something up will make the particles move faster, and it will add more energy. But cooling something down will make the particles move slower and removes energy. So to summarize, matter is anything that has mass and a volume. Matter is made up of tiny moving particles. Solids, liquids, and gases differ because the particles move differently. Okay.